I'd like to show you how to create a very effective rainstorm in this simple little atmospheric landscape. I'll be using a scrap piece of Arches 140-pound cold pressed paper. I'm going to work the seam by folding it back and forth and pressing along the edge. On the top, I'm going to start a small tear, then pull both sides away from each other. This way, I'll have a small deckled edge. Next, I'm going to need to create a boundary for the painting to be in. I have a couple options. I can use a pencil and create a line around my paper about 1 inch away from the edge. Or if I don't want to worry about staying within the lines, I can always use artist tape. Go along the outside edge, place it down, and then press. Then I'll just continue working my way around the piece until all 4 sides are covered. What's nice about this is that I can have a really clean line. I do need to make sure that I press the tape firmly onto the surface. Now let's take another look at what I'm trying to achieve. Notice the edges of the painting. In this one, I painted up to the pencil line. You can see how it looks a little irregular. And the one that I'll be working on has the tape along the edge. Using my bamboo hockey brush, I'm going to flood the surface with clean water. So what I'm really looking for is more of a puddle. This way the color's really going to be able to move. Then once I've primed my paper, I'm ready for my color. Using a number 20 Sable Synthetic Blend, I'm going to take a little indigo and a little French ultramarine blue and put it in my palette. Notice the amount of water that I'm using. Now watch as I start to apply this to the paper. I'll begin with the upper left-hand corner and then work my way along the top. Notice my brush strokes. Long and fluid, not short and jagged. Then I'll lift and tilt the paper and let the water do the work for me. In order to get the impression of a rainstorm, I want the color to run diagonally across the paper. You can also see that I left a lot of white. This way the color can easily transition and create different values. Now to ground the painting, I'm going to add some grasses, using a little quinacridone gold mixed into the indigo. Then starting on the right-hand side, I'm going to apply my color along the bottom edge. Watch as the indigo continues to move to create the painting. I'm going to allow the 2 colors to mix and blend together. I'll drop in some of my quinacridone gold mix so it can help to create the impression of grasses. To remove any of the excess water, all I need to do is tilt the paper and let it run off onto the table. What I'm looking for is the surface to have an even sheen to it. If I left the water, I could have some very interesting effects, but that's not necessarily what I'm looking for right now. I'd like to have a little more control over my painting. And to make sure that I don't have any unwanted blossoming, I'm going to use a paper towel along the edge. I'll let this set for just a moment, then reintroduce a little more indigo to deepen the color. I'll be using my first layer as a guide to where I want the color to go. To prevent any unwanted feathering, I'll continue to lift and tilt and rotate my paper. At this point, this simple little painting still looks really flat. So now I'll go back to my quinacridone gold mix and reapply. I don't need to paint every hill or blade of grass. I want the viewer to use their imagination. I want them to interpret what they see. This particular style of painting evokes more of an emotion or a feeling. I don't want to overwork it. Once I'm satisfied, I need to stop and let this dry. When it's ready, I'll remove the tape and see my clean edge. By using these simple techniques, you can create a very effective rainstorm in this lovely little painting. For more information on my books, workshops, or other programs, please visit my website, birgitoconnor.com.